What I have on the screen is information about the size of a company's workforce. So this is a theoretical company because we've got the workforce size starting at 50 and it's going up by exactly 25 employees per year. If we were to plot the size of the workforce over time, we would just get a simple line chart like the one over here. So very straight, very basic. What we see in a lot of infographics, they're kind of charts, they're kind of infographics, they kind of cross the line. We pick an icon to represent that data point. So in this particular case, suppose they want to get a little bit cute with their image, make it a little more interesting. They say, okay, well, we're talking about the workforce, so let's include the icon of a person. And what they do is they scale the size of that person to match where the point lands on the line. So in this particular case, we're actually lining the head of the person with the actual dot where we would have a data point on that line. Now, here's the problem with doing that. So does it look visually more interesting than a boring line? It certainly does. However, because you choose an icon on this chart, when you scale it, it gets scaled in 2 dimensions. So it gets scaled in both height and in width. So you're changing the area of that icon. Whereas for the data point, that really doesn't apply. There is no height and width when we're talking about a workforce size. It's just a number. So unfortunately, when you quickly look at this chart the first time you see it, it does look like the size of the workforce here is massively larger than the size of the workforce here, especially if somebody doesn't put any numbers on this chart. So while picking an icon to do this, and I've seen a million of these of different icons, but the concept is always the same. They scale the icon in 2 dimensions. It changes the visual area that is covered by that icon, and therefore it distorts the visual perception of the difference between the numbers before and after. So while we have a constant 50, 75, 100, 125, the difference between 2018 and 2021 looks so much larger just because of the selected icon. The other thing we see is that because we have used this icon and the head represents the dot of our data point, we also see that that grows over time and again gives us this misperception of distorting the actual difference between the data year over year. So while these do look visually more interesting, I tend to stay away from these. And while my graphs may not be as exciting as what comes out of the marketing department, I do aim to minimize the chances of somebody misinterpreting the information that I'm presenting.